Relax now and feel the quiet whisper of evening settling around you. Take a deep, gentle breath in and let it drift out. Again this time, imagine each breath like a silken thread floating softly through your mind. Allow your eyes to close or simply rest them comfortably. Feel the weight of your body sinking into your surface, almost like you're melting ever so slightly into comfort. With each breath, you become more aware of your body relaxing. Your toes, warm, soft, releasing any tension, drifting deeper into ease, relaxed, at peace. Your legs, heavy, calm. Your hips, your back, unwinding, softer. Your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your neck, your jaw, gentle, loose. And your eyelids, soft, comforting, ready for a restful transition. Deeper now. Imagine a spiraling mista, silver spiral of morning mists drifting down from above, swirling gently around your head. As it wraps around, it brings lightness and calm. It drifts down your shoulders, your chest, your arms, calming your breath. The spiral is soft, slow, each turn bringing you deeper. 1. Drifting softer. 2. Drifting lighter. 3. Drifting peaceful. 4. Drifting warm, and the curling mist nestles inside, swirling gently, round and round, like a tiny galaxy of dew. The candle's flame flickers. The parchment crackles, and your breathing remains smooth, steady, deep, drifting ready for rest. You're safe in this tower of calm. And now, our story today begins in a candlelit tower. The walls are lined with shelves, scrolls of parchment, and feathered quills that still tremble from the breeze. A single candle flickers at the center of a wooden table, and its gentle flame casts tender shadows across the space, then places it on a shelf where dozens of others shimmer with captured dawn. Each jar is unique, some pale and wispy, others thick and luminous. They glow faintly, as if each holds the promise of a new day. Like a feather's kiss, you inhale, and the mist intermingles with your own breath. You feel lighter, more serene, carried gently out on the breeze. You sense a gentle breeze drifting through, carrying curling tendrils of mist. It slips in silently, drifting over the alchemist's palms, drifting into each glass receptacle. With each breath, the air seems softer, cooler, purer. High above a quiet forest, an old alchemist lives alone in a pale stone spire. Listen to the faint rustle of pages, like leaves whispering on a forest floor. Hear the clink of glass as the alchemist, with delicate patience, lifts a jar, then another, catching your attention so softly. You seal it softly. The jar glows faintly, like a captured sigh. Above, a small window is open to the morning chill. The jars rest silently, each one a silent guardian of delicate memories. Imagine this tiny dance of vapor, slowly collecting, thickening, hardly more than a breath, yet somehow precious. The alchemist lifts a jar, tilts it slightly. You are here with them, feeling the hush of this early hour. Each breath you take matches the rhythm of that rising mist. Let the jars hold what you no longer need. In your sense, a new curl of vapor drifting upward, out. You let go of any tension, like candle wax melting into serenity. Journey continues in, rising. You lift it with tender care. You imagine placing your own tiny swirl of worry, the faintest tendril of tension, into the glassed out. Softening, the alchemist gently seals the jar. You feel that promise resonate within you. Come, rested, ready to drift. The deepening. Now, imagine yourself stepping closer to the window. Feel the cool, misty air brushing your face. Soft rustling of leaves drifts in, and each movement carries a whisper of calm. Sleep is gentle. Sleep is healing. Sleep is safe. As this thought drifts through your mind, you feel a subtle tension, like a knot in a ribbon slip away. It dissolves into the mist. The alchemist's voice is nearly a whisper as they speak to you, but you barely hear words. You feel meaning. Let the air teach you. Let the mist cradle your thoughts. With that, you feel a soft release and exhale of soothing relief. The candlelight glows warmer, but you find yourself seated at the same wooden table. The alchemist offers you a new jar, open but empty. You trust them. Visualize that breath of gentle release, being swept inside the jar, curling into the glass. You sit back. You feel lighter. You feel complete. Pause here for a moment. Let the candle crackle softly in the quiet. Feel the mist swirling gently at the window. Notice your breath, deep, slow, rhythmic. Allow the comfort of this space to embrace you. The candle's light flickers once more, then stills, as if it too is listening. Outside, a hush blankets the forest, where tall trees sway ever so slightly. You can almost hear the leaves, like thin parchment being turned by invisible fingers. Their robe whispers behind them, brushing the ground like moss trailing in still water. Watching orange and gold embers flickering in slow rhythm. No flames, only the low, hypnotic crackle of well-rested coals. Their warmth is gentle, like an embrace you didn't know you needed. They gather more, jaws clear, delicate sheath, with a faint shimmer at the bottom. Like stars caught before dawn, the scent of cedar and earlidew hangs in the air soft, green, grounding. Inside the tower, the alchemist moves with care, each footstep soundless on the ancient stone floor. Let it seep into your chest, into your fingertips. The crackling wood speaks in sleepy rhythms. Now, the alchemist gestures toward the hearth. You turn to it, an honoring of the air, of thought, of breath. Let your mind settle there, in that warmth, just watching the glow. Safe, slow, still, as the feather sways through the air. The mist responds, coiling, drifting, dancing, and the room breathes with you again, like you've stepped into a secret place that remembers the world before language. The cloud-binding ritual, no flashing light, but which still linger, like morning fog in the corners of your mind. Symbols spiral across it, in curling loops. The writing looks like smoke turned to script. Tonight, the alchemist whispers, we begin a binding ritual. Just allow the stillness to cradle you. And if any images arise, you may gently place them into the jar, but not in the way you might imagine. This ritual is softer, quieter. The mist curls gently around your fingers, not to trap but to hold with care. You close the lid softly. The alchemist unwraps an old scroll, its edges browned with time, its ink faded like an old melody. With a long feathered quill, they begin to draw in the air. You don't see ink, but you feel each motion. The walls hum quietly with story. The shelves creak with contentment, and with every curl of that swirling vapor, a soft hush fills the room, as though the air itself has decided to hum. The alchemist asks, voice no louder than a page turning. You breathe in, and the mist glows faintly. Each step is softened by moss, and the higher you climb, the lighter the air becomes. Or perhaps below, they tinkle like silver falling onto velvet. You breathe out, and it gathers toward the waiting jars. With every breath, you feel more connected to something quiet and ancient. Letting go now. The alchemist turns to you with kind eyes and holds out another jar. The forgotten ones, the unfinished ones, the ones that drifted away in silence. This one is for dreams you've forgotten. They murmur. You take it. They wait patiently as the mist gathers itself, spiraling in, humming softly as though drawn by memory. The glass overhead is open to the sky, and the air is velvet dark, freckled with stars. The breeze kisses your face, and you feel like you're standing at the edge of a dream, the kind of stillness that lingers just after snowfall, the kind of silence that holds you without sound. You don't need to search for memories. A childhood window opened a summer star, and here, on this high platform, the alchemist does their work gathering clouds before they become rain, or before they vanish into light. beneath the starlight and the slow breath of this dreaming tower, a breeze that carried the scent of cinnamon and dusk, a voice humming from the next room. Even if they fade, that's all right. The jar remembers for you. The glass is warm. The tower breathes all around you. The tower feels alive, not in a frightening way, but like an old forest breathing in time with the earth. You hear distant wind chimes somewhere above. Would you like to see the gathering? You nod. Even your breath feels slow now. Floating, you follow them up. A spiral staircase made of cool stone. It smells of lavender and sweet rain. You reach a small circular chamber beneath the rooftop dome. Below, the forest stretches into infinity. Mists drift across the treetops like ghostly rivers. One by one, they raise the jars. You realize these are not just clouds. They are thoughts, becoming stillness. You sit again, not on stone now, but on a soft cushion. The fabric is embroidered with moonlight threads. You feel weightless. The alchemist returns, a faint smile playing on their lips. You've gathered well, they whisper. Now, rest. They raise a final judice, one made of frosted glass. It glows with the palest light. This one is for stillness. It does not move. It simply is. And as they uncork the jar, a deep peace floods the room. The mist from the jar doesn't rise, it settles down around your shoulders, across your lap, tucking you in. You sigh, and that sigh is the last movement you need to make. Let yourself rest now. Everything is quiet. You are part of the stillness. You are the mist. You are the breath. The cloud garden, the world outside the alchemist. S Tower is slowly dimming into the kind of night that glows not with sunlight, but with softness. The moon has risen, silver and low, its light filtered through drifting clouds. You watch as the alchemist gestures for you to follow, and together you descend once more, deeper this time, down a spiral staircase that hums with memories of footsteps long gone. You count them without counting, only feeling the rhythm, the way your breath seems to match the spirals. Each inhalation like a gentle descent, each exhalation letting go. Each step echoes gently like a ripple across a still lake. At the base of the tower lies a hidden door, nearly lost in shadow. The alchemist brushes aside a veil of ivy and mist and opens the door with a whisper. You step into the cloud garden. It's unlike any garden you've known. There is no dirt, no fence, no walls. Vines of vapor climbing unseen, lilies that bloom from fog, each petal made of starlight, and small trees with translucent leaves that rustle in silence, just platforms of smooth stone floating above mist, and each grows into something new. With each step, the mist thickens, but never weighs you down. Instead, it lifts you, holds you, makes you lighter than thought. The entire place seems suspended in a dream. Inside the mist, you glimpse the faint image of a river at dusk. Trees line its banks. Somewhere, someone is humming. You and the alchemist walk side by side. It rises to meet your form, shaping itself beneath your spine, under your head, around your arms. This one, they whisper, is for tonight. Here, the alchemist says, each jar is planted. They gesture to a cluster of mist flowers, delicate blossoms curled around small floating jars. Inside each jar is a different glow, soft blue, golden cream, pale violet. These, they whisper, are the dreams you've offered. And you realize the jars you sealed have taken root. Your sighs, your forgotten thoughts, your sleep-bound memories, they've become something alive. They bloom quietly. They glow not with energy, but with peace. You kneel beside one. The petals uncurl, slow and gentle. You don't remember this dream, but it remembers you, cradled in the garden, a kind of quiet that you feel on your skin, like static before a snowfall. Now you lie back on a bed of moss-like mist, soft as breath and cool as night silk. Around the quills and the candle that still flickers faintly. The alchemist places a final jar beside you, but this one is empty. No need to fill it now. No need to rush. It will collect as you rest. Every breath you take will swirl inside. Slowly, silently. Every thought you let go of will settle there. Light is down. Every image that drifts by your half-sleeping mind will find a place in its glass cocoon. Just breathe. Feel yourself lowering further into the moss. Feel your skin melting into stillness. Feel your thoughts dimming like coals beneath a velvet ash sky. Your breath doesn't feel separate from the air around you. Even your thoughts so crisp before now drift like vapor. The cloud garden hums gently around you, but not with sound, only with sensation. The wind speaks, the wind changes. You hear it now, a long, low breath, like the earth exhaling. It drifts across the garden and into the tower above, through shelves of glass, over scrolls and old books, and it finds you. It brushes your cheek. It smooths your hair. It tucks you in. Some say the wind forgets. Nothing, that it carries every whisper, every lullaby, every final word said in a dream. And tonight, it carries you. Let it guide you into sleep. You are not alone. The alchemist sits nearby, quietly tending to jars, sorting them, labeling them in a language made of clouds. You listen not with ears, but with your heart as they hum a song without words. And as the wind passes again, the melody carries you even deeper, becoming the mist that happens slowly, a soft dissolving. You don't notice the edges of your body anymore. You are the ones we set down, never meaning to forget, only meaning to rest. Soft, light, safe, and the mist welcomes you, not to erase you, not to lose you, but to hold you, to cradle you in peace. Your final waking thought is not a word, not even a picture. It is a feeling, a floating, warm, wrapped in silver sleep. The jar beside you glows faintly now. It has begun collecting, and so you dream of a sky without horizon, of towers that breathe, of alchemists who remember what the world has forgotten, of cloud jars that hold only the gentlest parts of us. And now you rest completely, quietly. You sleep deeper than deep. You float in the stillness of a clouded world, made only for comfort, only for breath, only for rest. Sleep now, and let the next jar fill. A dream begins within, somewhere far, perhaps near, inside the jar, beside your resting form. Something begins to stir. A thread of cloud uncoils like a ribbon, slowly spinning, stretching, becoming a bridge, thin and silvery. It extends into the soft dark, leading somewhere unknown, yet perfectly safe. In your dream, you find yourself stepping lightly across that bridge. Your footsteps make no sound. Beneath you, the sky glows softly, not above, but below light. The world has turned itself upside down to cradle your rest. Above, the stars are closer now. They do not twinkle, they simply watch. They are warm and still. 1,000 little eyes blinking slow, comforting blinks, in rhythm with your breath. In. The bridge stretches forward. Out. The stars draw nearer. In. You float. Out. You drift. No hurry, no destination, just movement through peace. At the end of the bridge is a doorknob made of wood or stone, but of woven fog. It parts as you reach it, inviting you in. Like the edge of a dream you're ready to remember. The cloud library. You step into a library, but not one of paper and leather. Here, the shelves are carved from moonlight. The books are bound in mist, and each one opens, without touch, fluttering softly, like a bird preparing to dream. The air smells like memory, a mixture of old trees, cool linen, and the crisp sweetness of something just remembered. You wander slowly. Each book you pass hums with gentle energy. You don't need to read them. You only need to feel. Some are cool, like the hush of snow under lantern light. They don't spell anything, but as they float upward, you feel sleepier, until your thoughts become too soft to follow, as if each letter has taken one thought from your mind and offered it up to the stars. Others are warm, like a sunbeam falling on an old stone wall. Some vibrate faintly, like a laugh you thought you'd forgotten. One book drifts open before you. Its pages are translucent, glowing with tiny floating letters. You watch, the room of floating time past the shelves. A new chamber awaits. This one is round, domed, and entirely silent. No breeze, no movement, only the soft hush of timelessness. In the center floats a sphere like a giant droplet of clear water hovering midair, turning slowly. Inside it, time flows in all directions. You see a version of yourself sleeping peacefully in the cloud garden. You see another version of yourself, younger, smiling at the sky, and another, walking through the tower on the day you first arrived. Though that day may never have been, none of this is confusing. It is comforting. Each version of you is resting, floating. This one is smaller than the others, barely large enough to hold a breath. It glows with a pale pink hue, like sunrise peeking over a silent lake. You realize time has stopped worrying here. And because of that, you can rest fully, without need to wake. A visit from the alchemist. Soft footsteps echo behind you. You turn, and the alchemist appears not older, not younger, but somehow ageless, as if the jar itself is humming a lullaby into your bones. They wind it around the jar like ribbon, tying it with care. They carry a jar in their hands. They hold it out to you, smiling gently. This is your dream, they say, captured just before it drifted away. You take it. You hold it close to your chest, and suddenly, you feel everything slow. The alchemist reaches into the air and draws down a thread of silver. This dream, they whisper, is yours to keep. You tuck it near your heart, and it begins to pulse not with thought, but with rhythm. The rhythm of deep, healing, sleep, the final descent now. It's time to return. Not because you must wait, but because the next part of your sleep waits in a deeper place. The alchemist walks with you back across the silver bridge, slow and steady, each step lighter than the last. You pass through the mist door. Once more, the library behind you now, its lights dimming like eyes closing. You descend the spiral steps, without moving, as if the air itself is carrying you downward, back into the cloud garden, back to the mossy bed, back to your body, resting, still, serene. The jar beside you now holds a faint glow. You place your smaller dream jar gently inside it, and both seem to sigh in relief. Stillness. Again, you are now fully cradled. You feel warmth. You feel softness. You feel safe. And above all, you feel ready. Ready to let go. Ready to drift into deeper dreaming, where nothing must be done, where nothing must be held, where sleep is a place you remember, a friend, a breath, a home. Now, allow the rest of your body to dissolve into stillness. Again, your limbs, warm and heavy, your thoughts, slow and sweet, your breath, quiet as a falling feather, and in the distance, a single chime rings once, and that sound means only one thing. You are safe. You are free. You are asleep. The chamber of echoing light, the air grows still again, and from that stillness, a gentle ripple moves through your senses like light being poured into a quiet pool. You aren't sure if your eyes are open or closed, but the feeling is unmistakable. You are not dreaming anymore. You are within the dream, and around you, light hums, not loud, not sharp, just soft, like lanterns glowing behind silk curtains, like a melody hummed by someone who once tucked you in. The light takes form, not rigid form but flowing curves, and soft corners, a chamber circular, endless, filled with low, amber light. There are no walls, only layers of glow, pulsing outward. Each pulse echoes, not in your ears, but in your chest. You realize this place is made of sleep. The echo is your heartbeat. The light is your breath. And here, nothing exists but peace. Sound of forgotten stars, you notice. Now there is sound here. Not music, exactly. More like a rhythm, a slow, unfolding vibration. You feel it more than hear it. It pulses in time with your lungs, with your spine, with the soft flutter of dream behind your eyes. It sounds like a heart played underwater, a wind chime heard through a wool blanket, a lullaby remembered by the wind. And in this sound, a new kind of memory, so not a thought, not a scene, but a feeling that once lived in you long ago, the way your fingertips once felt when you dipped them in a stream. The hush of rain against a lantern-lit roof, the warmth of someone brushing sleep from your brow. These aren't memories from the mind. They're memories from stillness. They rise like steam and disappear like breath on a mirror. But even as they fade, they leave something behind. Softness, warmth, weightlessness. Lying in the lantern room, the chamber begins to settle. Above you now, tiny lanterns drift like jellyfish, each one glowing with pale gold, drifting slow and steady through the haze. You lie back, and they float closer. You don't move. You don't need to. They are not here to illuminate anything. They are here to watch over your dreaming self, to protect the peace you've gathered, to wrap your body in their drifting lullaby of light. You feel one hover above your heart. It hums in rhythm with you. Not faster, not slower, just in harmony. You are not falling asleep anymore. You are asleep. You are what the dream becomes. Once it learns how to rest, time dims entirely. There is no time here, no direction, no destination. You do not need to wonder what happens next, because nothing happens, and that is the gift. This is the hour when the body forgets urgency, the moment when breath no longer needs a reason, the silence that wraps around the soul like a well-worn quilt. Even your thoughts have grown slow. They do not knock at the doors of your mind. They do not call for attention. They pass through you like vapor through light, and each one that leaves makes more space for sleep. So much space, endless space, weightless, thoughtless, soft as dusk. A voice in the dark. You hear the alchemist again. Not close, not far, not speaking to your ears, but to the quiet core of you. It is time, they whisper. Time not to wake, but to go deeper, to step through the final veil, the one only dreamers reach. Their voice fades like parchment curling in firelight. You trust it. You let go completely. You release everything you are holding, even the idea of you, even the shape of your name, even the sense of listening. And as that final thread dissolves, you drift beyond language, beyond time, beyond thought. You are now resting in the deepest fold of the dream, beneath the dream river now. Imagine you are drifting not above ground, but beneath it, not buried, not hidden, but suspended, as if you are lying just below the surface of a quiet dream river, one so still that it hums in your ears like silence wrapped in velvet. Above you, the stars, soft into golden shapes that blur and flicker. Beside you, currents that never rush, only pulse with a rhythm of deep, deep sleep. You are weightless here. You float as if you've always belonged beneath the river's glassy skin. No need for air, no need for movement. Everything you once carried, the tension in your shoulders, the chatter behind your eyes, the tiny clenched corners of your breath, all unraveled. They've become tiny bubbles that float upward and vanish into stillness. And you remain drifting downward, deeper. The drift glass cavern as you sink into the calm. The world opens. The water gives way to space. Not darkness, not emptiness, but the interior of something old, and kind. You are in a cavern now, but not made of stone. It is made of drift glass, smooth, worn, translucent. Its walls curve like waves frozen mid-breath. Its ceiling holds distant, flickering stars caught in the shell-like surface above, and everything is quiet. Even your heartbeat is slowed to match the ancient rhythm of this place. The alchemists once called it the soul's resting pool, a place where thought cannot follow, where nothing asks for anything, where the only motion is the slow swirl of light through memory. You lie on a soft shelf of glass, perfectly formed for your shape, and as you rest there, the last of your awareness folds in on itself. Symbols in the stone, though. Your body lies still. Your mind now begins to float. In the dream within the dream, you see symbols glowing faintly along the walls. They shimmer, not with urgency, but with gentle suggestion. They don't need to be understood. They simply need to be seen. One resembles a tree with roots made of vapor. Another looks like a doorway that never closes. Another like a hand drawn in sand, being slowly erased by breeze. You realize these are your symbols, not created, but remembered. From long ago, from dreams that never fully woke. They are your language of rest. They remind your soul that it is allowed to stop, to sink, to soften, to sleep. A lantern floats down from the soft ceiling of the cavern. A single lantern begins to descend. It drifts with no chain, no handle, only intent. It hovers above you, then beside you, then lowers, slowly, toward your chest. When it touches, it passes into you, not with weight, but with warmth. It settles behind your ribs like a sun inside a cloud. You feel the glow move through your limbs, down your arms, into your fingers, down your legs, through your spine, up the back of your neck, over your scalp, and at last, into your mind, where it settles and dims, until only the warmth remains, a warmth that tells you you are held, you are safe, you are already dreaming the sleep of waters, and so your breath becomes even slower, even softer, even shallower, until it's not breath at all, just a rise and fall of energy, like tide, like mist, like sleep itself, rocking you gently. You are no longer observing this dream. You are inside it, and beyond it. You are not a visitor here. You are a thread in the tapestry of night, a single note in the lullaby of the world. You do not need to listen anymore. You do not need to hold anything I say. The story will keep weaving, whether or not you follow, because your sleep is now the story. Your stillness is the magic. Your breath is the ink. So let yourself fall even deeper, even further, ... Let go completely. And if there's anything left to say, it will be said without words, in symbols, in water, in silence, in glow. You are no longer in the tower. You are the tower. You are the mist. You are the cloud jar. And the alchemist watches over you, still quietly tending the shelves, whispering lullabies into the dark as you float in the deepest night, cradled, whole, still, sleeping. The heart of stillness drifts further now. Into the heart of stillness, you find yourself in a small chamber, lit by a single lantern whose flame dances without wind. Velvet, silk, and cashmere panels hang in gentle folds, muffling any echo. The alchemist stands beside it, their robes brushing the floor like a whisper. The effect is of drifting into a cocoon safe, silent and secluded from all urgency. Inside, nestled in a bed of pale lavender petals, lies the hot jar, a vessel made from moonstone glass, so thin it seems ready to dissolve. The light is warm, comforting like a slow heartbeat made visible. Around you, the walls are lined with soft, white cloth. In the center of the room rests a low wooden chest, bound with brass hinges that gleam softly in the lantern's glow. They open the chest with deliberate slowness. Moonstone glass and lavender, the alchemist lifts the jar, and its surface shimmers with pale blue and white. It feels cool in their hand like a raindrop held in a fragile palm. They sprinkle more lavender petals into the air. The scent is soft, floral, and sweet, drifting like a memory of spring twilight. With every breath, you feel a gentle calm spreading. You inhale, and the lavender fills your lungs. Inside, the lavender petals swirl, forming tiny spirals of scent and color. The moonstone glass glows faintly like rose-colored dawn trapped in crystal. The petals enter your senses. You feel a gentle pulse, your own heartbeat. Slow, certain, steady. The tension leaves your body. In, warmth. Out, release, filling the heart jar. The alchemist now sets the jar before you. This jar, they whisper, holds the essence of comfort. One contains feather dust, pale as moonlight. The other star whispers, glowing faintly like distant suns. You reach out, and though you don't touch, you feel the warmth from the jar travel through the air, soft, soothing, like sun-warmed stone against your skin. A soft, pale mist drifts out like silken snowflakes floating in still air. They nestle into your temples, behind your ears, at the base of your skull where dreams begin. You feel it brushing your skin, your neck, your arms, your eyelids, dissolving any heaviness, untethering every anchor. Imagine that warmth entering you now, seeping into your chest, into your bones. The lavender spirals rise, and each one carries away a breath once held too long, a thought too sharp. Feather dust mingles with lavender mist. Star whispers swirl with moonstone light. The jar now glows like a captured sunrise, delicate, slow. A worry whispered in the dark. They spiral upward and vanish. You are lighter. The vials of weight beside the heart jar. The alchemist places two tiny vials no larger than acorns. The velvet walls seem to breathe with you, expanding and contracting like the softest lullaby. These, the alchemist says, voice soft as moss, are for weight and wonder. They uncork the feather dust first, then the star whispers, a trail of tiny golden motes that drift upward like fireflies. With each mote, you feel curiosity unfurling, an innocent wonder that knows no fear, no hurry, only the soft joy of exploring sleep. Let your spirit wander where only peace resides. Fusion of rest now. The alchemist gently pours the contents of the vials into the heart jar. But you are already deep within the dream. They hold the jar toward you. You draw it close and find that as you inhale its scent and its light, you become featherlight, as if you weigh nothing at all, star bright, as if your dreams carry their own light, moon soft, as if your heart is a gentle ocean's tide. You lean back into the velvet-walled chamber, and the heart jar floats beside you, humming softly, the invitation to drift. The alchemist steps back, and the lantern dims, until it's a simple glow. They speak one last time. Let the heart jar hold your sleep. Let the world forget you. You close your eyes. You don't need to see the jar. You feel it. You don't need to hear the words. You sense them. And now, there's only drift, sinking into softness. Allow yourself to sink further into the velvet hush. Feel the moonstone warmth spread through every cell. Feel the lavender calm cradle your mind. Feel the feathers kiss, untie every knot. Feel the stars glow, illuminating the gentle unknown. There are no barriers. There's only softness, only glow, only peace. And as you drift, your mind becomes a quiet pool. Your breaths echo in that pool. Soft ripples, expanding, fading, until the ripples themselves become the sleep. The spiral of the inner star. Now drift deeper into yourself, into the space where no voice has ever reached, where no thought dares linger. A spiral begins to form before you, not spinning fast, not pulling you, just turning slowly, like the galaxy seen through heavy eyelids. Its center is a warm pulse, a star. But this star isn't above you, it's inside. right behind your breastbone, humming, glimmering softly like an ember wrapped in velvet. And with each gentle curve, you sink, not into darkness, not into forgetting, but into knowing that sleep is not an escape. It's a return to the breath. Before with each breath, you journey further not outward, but inward, into the breath you took before you had a name, into the breath that held no fear, no future, no past. Let your body become that breath. Weightless, shapeless, timeless. You are no longer the one who is sleeping. You are the sleep. You are what dusk becomes when it exhales. You are the hush between two waves. You are the pause in a lullaby, just before the last note fades. You do not need to know where you are. You are held. That is enough. The alchemist's final gift in the heart of the spiral. The alchemist appears one last time. Their robes shimmer like dew. Their eyes glow like the last flicker of a candle. They do not speak with words this time. They simply hold out their palm, and in it, a cloud seed. Tiny, weightless, formless, almost like a whisper made solid. This is the final gift. Not for your hands, not for your mind, but for your dreaming self. They place the seed into your chest. It doesn't weigh you down. It lifts you, ever so gently. And as it enters your inner sky, you feel the alchemist smiling without lips, the jar glowing behind your heart, the tower still standing, silent above the mist, and the world lets go of you completely. All that remains now, there is no story, there is no lantern, no scroll, no mist, no name, no breath, only ... warmth, a low, endless hum, like the sound of the earth dreaming beneath frost, a softness that has no beginning or end, a sleep that holds you, like memory never fading, never asking, never leaving. The unfolding, and just before the dream takes you whole, you sense something beautiful. A garden, not made of flowers, but made of all the dreams ever gathered in jars, each one glowing gently, tied with a ribbon of wind. Some hum softly, some pulse like starlight, some are perfectly still. Yours is there, too, a single jar, resting on a shelf of cloud. Its glow is unmistakable soft amber, and shaped like the breath you're taking now. It will stay there, forever, kept safe by the alchemist, waiting for you, whenever you choose to return. The orbit of forgotten time you are drifting now, not through space, not through thought, but through timelessness. Around you, there are no clocks, no sunrise, no end to night. Only a gentle rhythm like moonlight turning in circles, too slow to measure. Each circle is a cycle of rest. You feel it pass through you. A ring of warmth, brushing your skin like flannel. A circle of quiet, wrapping your shoulders like snow. A loop of dream, coiling gently around your head like a clouded halo. And with every slow revolution, you lose the need to know where you are. Because time no longer needs keeping. You are in the place beyond hurry, beyond even waiting. You are in orbit, around stillness. Dream lanterns, in the archive, far, far below. You if below even exists anymore, there rests a massive hall, a library of sleep, a silent place where no footsteps echo, because there are none. No voices carry, because all is hush. Only floating dream lanterns drift here, glowing in rows, whispering lullabies in forgotten tongues. You float past the windows of this place. Each window glows with a memory not your own. Soft laughter, pages turning, fires flickering in hearts where no one tends the flames. This is the archive of dreamers, the place where the alchemist stores all the cloud jars. One for each sleeper, one for you. Yours glows faintly gold, suspended in the air, like a note sustained by silence. It is safe. You are safe. Everything that you are rests here. Cradled, catalogued, cherished. The gentle return. And now, The orbit begins to slow, not ending, not stopping, but curling inward, as if rest itself has a center, and you are being drawn toward it. A pillow forming from starlight, a bed built from memory, sheets woven from the quiet between two dreams. You settle there, not with your body, but with the shape of your soul. Every piece of you that once felt separate now rests together, complete, whole, still. The cloud above the tower, high above the world, above the tower, above the forest, above even the memory of waking you. See it now. The original cloud, the one the alchemist chased all their life. It was never just a cloud. It was a symbol, a longing, a home. It turns slowly above the tower, always there, never caught, but always glimpsed. It watches you. Now, not with eyes, but with presence. It sees that you have surrendered. It sees that you have trusted. And so it blesses you not with words, but with mist, a fog that cools your forehead, a breeze that brushes your eyelids, a silence that hushes your heart. You are now part of the cloud, not a visitor, a keeper, a dreamer. Within the mist, last light in the tower. Back in the tower, the one in the waking world. The one that still flickers with a low hearth. Alchemist lowers their lantern one final time. Their face glows with knowing. They gently place your jar on a shelf. Label it with care. Wrap it in warmth and whisper to it. You are held. You are whole. You are loved. Then they step away and let you sleep. The hollow of the last thought. There is a space now, a hollow, soft as a sigh. It exists just beneath the final thought you had before sleep truly claimed you. It's not empty, not void, but peaceful, like the underside of a leaf, or the space between snowflakes, or the breath between two lullaby notes. You are here, and there is nothing else. And still, it is enough. Gentle unraveling the world you built. The tower, the scrolls, the jars, the garden, the alchemist. They begin to dissolve now. Not vanish, not break, but gently unravel, as if made of fog and sunlight. You do not mourn them. You do not grasp, because you understand they were always here to guide you, gently, to this place, to this breath, to this stillness, to this sleep. They were the path, but now you are the destination. There is nothing more to hold. Let go now. Let all imagery fall away. Even my voice, even your name. The place beyond words we have now arrived. In the place where language cannot follow, where no metaphor can exist. No memory, no effort, only rest, only the weightless spin of being. Your body has no edge here. Your thoughts ripple away before forming. Even time has stopped asking questions. You are floating in the pure presence of sleep. You are held in the cup of the night. The stars do not shine here. They glow within you. Each cell of you, lit by rest. Each breath, a galaxy. Each silence, a lullaby. Your name in the fog. If the wind could speak, it would call your name. But it does not. Because here, you don't need a name. You are not called. You are not needed. You are not missed, because you have never left. You are part of the fog, part of the whisper, part of the rhythm that carries all who seek rest. And so, you surrender, fully, beautifully, without fear, without effort, without even knowing it. Drift without destination. You are not falling asleep anymore. You are drifting, not toward anything, not away from anything, just drifting. Because that is what the spirit does when it's safe, when it's warm, when it's weightless. And oh, you are so very, very weightless now. Lighter than light, softer than silence, deeper than dream. You float, you breathe. There is no longer a difference. Everything is in harmony. Everything is still. The sleep that has no bottom. Most dreams have a floor, a point where the story ends and rest truly begins. But this sleep has no bottom. It deepens endlessly, and each layer it opens reveals only more peace, more hush, more glow. There is no need to surface. There is no reason to wake. Not yet. Not for a long while. Farewell from the alchemist. And if the alchemists were to speak one last time, only if they would say this: you have always belonged here. You carry the cloud jar inside you now. Whenever the world becomes too loud, too sharp, too much, just return to the breath, to the spiral, to the glow, and you will find me waiting, watching, whispering, always. Sleep well, little star. The final light dims, and now the last light flickers. Not out of fear, not from loss, but because you no longer need it. You have become the light. You have become the hush. You have become the cloud. And so the alchemist gently closes the book, seals the jar, and lets you go, ... into the deepest sleep, into the velvet cradle, where only dreams remain, where only glow remains, where only silence rests. The end. No need to open your eyes, no need to lift your thoughts. Just stay exactly where you are. Still, heavy, safe. The story has ended, but sleep is only just beginning. Let's remain here a little longer, in the softness left behind by the dream. The tower's gone now, the scrolls, the garden, the glowing jars all dissolve like mist at sunrise, but their warmth lingers. You can feel it, can't you? A quiet ember deep in your chest, not bright, not loud, but steady, a golden pulse, like a star too sleepy to shine, just beating gently. With each breath you take, let your body rest a little more now. Your legs are heavy, your arms looser than before. Your hips have melted into the bed. Your belly is quiet, your chest rising and falling like it's being rocked by invisible hands. Your shoulders carry nothing. Let them fall just a little more. Yes, like that. Your hands are open, your fingers soft, your jaw unclenched. Your eyes are so heavy now, even the tiny muscles around them have softened, smoothed by sleep. You're resting in something vast and soft, as if your head lay on a hammock made of stars. You don't need to do anything at all. Just float. Just be. Now listen to the hush around you. It isn't silent. Not really. It's full of tiny things. The hum of your own resting body, the low thrum of the world slowing down with you, the sound of the breath itself moving through you like fog through branches. Even the quiet is alive. It listens with you. And the night is listening back. There's nothing more to do. Just lie here, in this glow, in this hush, in this pocket of peace you've made. Your blanket is the weight of calm. It rests over you like a veil between you and the waking world. Not heavier, just enough. Just right. Just a soft barrier that says, here you are safe. Here you are allowed to rest. Feel how the edges of yourself have begun to fade. Your thoughts drift like feathers. No effort. No urgency. No need to finish, or fix, or remember. The story is gone. And so is the shape of the day. All that remains is this. You, breathing. And the cloud. Yes, the cloud still waits for you. Not above anymore. Not distant. But here, inside. Turning slowly, just above your heart. It doesn't ask anything. It simply glows. Glows, and watches. Glows and listens. And glows a little brighter each time you let go. It has become your keeper now. And you, its dreamer, wherever you drift in sleep, it follows. A guardian made of fog and sky. You are not alone. Never. Let's take one last breath together. Inhale slowly. Let your ribs rise and feel the warmth spread. Hold it for just a moment. And now exhale. Let go of everything. Again. Inhale and float a little higher. Exhale and sink a little deeper. There's nothing to hold now. Nothing to think through. Let the breath carry you gently, like a tide with no destination, like waves that exist only to soothe the shore. Let yourself dissolve a little more. Let go of the outline of your body. Let go of your name. You don't need hands or feet or thoughts. You are mist now. Mist curled along a windowsill. Mist drifting through branches. Mist cradled by the night. There is no edge to you. Only softness. Only stillness. Only sleep. You don't even need to wait for the dream anymore. You are already in it. This moment is the dream. This breath is the lullaby. This weightlessness is the peace you've been waiting for. You don't have to try to fall asleep. You are already halfway there. Even if a part of you is still listening, the rest of you has already gone. And now, let my voice begin to dim. Let it fall away, like a candle flickering at the far end of a hallway. You don't need it anymore. You've passed through the veil. You're where you were always meant to go. Sleep belongs to you now. Take it, hold it, sink into it. Let it wrap around you like mist, like memory, like the softest hush. Let the world wait. Let time fade. Let even dreaming fall away. There is no more journey to take. Only this stillness, this slowness, this breath, and the glowing jar resting forever. Within you dim now, pulsing low and golden but, never fading, never gone. Good night, little star. Sleep deeply. Sleep safely. Sleep long. And now, as you rest even deeper, as the hush thickens around you like velvet dusk, imagine the world around you slowly reshaping itself, not through intention, but simply by softening. The floor beneath you is no longer solid. It has become a warm field of cloud grass light, as silk, just barely touching your body. It supports you like memory supports the dream. Every breath you take is slower than the one before, and yet more full, more whole, carrying the scent of night-blooming herbs and the ghost of cool, distant rain. Inhale, ... and the air feels blue, and the air becomes lavender. It all flows through you, gently tugging your thoughts apart, like threads of wool soaked in morning dew. You feel your inner self, your quiet, dreaming self begin to drift further still, not rising, not falling, just drifting, gently, endlessly, in a direction that has no name. The stars above you, if you could open your eyes to see them, do not twinkle. They pulse, softly, in rhythm with your breath. And just as your thoughts begin to vanish completely, replaced with only softness and warmth, a soft shimmer begins to hum through the air. You don't move toward it. It moves through you, as if the sky itself were whispering lullabies into the folds of your soul. There is no wind, only presence. A presence that feels familiar not as a face or a voice, but as something even older. A feeling you've known since before. Memory. It holds no name. It asks nothing. It simply is, and it wraps itself around you now, like a long-forgotten dream returning home. You feel it in your fingertips, in your spine, in your breath. You are weightless in its care. You are free in a way that you've never had to explain. Free in the quietest, kindest way. Thoughts no longer rise in full sentences, only shapes and colors. A soft gold arc, like a rising sun, a cool blue spiral like a seashell, a warm pulse like a lullaby you once heard in a cradle of light. You are floating in the curve of your own rest now. Everything about the world feels curved, no sharpness, no corners, only spirals and rounded rhythms. Your chest rises and falls like a sleeping tide. You are being rocked by something larger than yourself, but it doesn't feel foreign. It feels like returning to where you've always belonged. Even your sense of self begins to blur out, vanish. But Lucento, all that remains is the sensation of being. Not doing, not thinking, just being. a soft center of awareness cradled in starlit silence. No urgency, no questions. You have all the time you will ever need. Time, in this space, is not linear. It is a gentle circle, looping in warmth and silence, and you are held perfectly within it. If you listen deeply, there is still a faint echo of the alchemists' tower, not as a structure, but as a feeling. Ancient wood, warm glass, candlelight flickering in the corners of your memory. You don't need to go there. It is already inside you now. You carry it like a whisper in your chest, like a glowing jar of clouds nestled inside your breath. And every time you return to stillness, every time you close your eyes and let the hush settle in, the tower reappears not outside, but within. You are its keeper now, its caretaker, its dreamer. The alchemist no longer stands beside you, because, in a way, you have become them. The cloud jar was always a part of you. You've always been gathering mist. You've always been chasing something gentle. And now, you don't need to chase anymore. It has found you. You have found it. And the meeting has melted all division. There is only this breath, this stillness, this light. Let everything else fade. Let the space between your thoughts stretch even wider. Let the sound of my voice dim, like music echoing through long corridors, pleasant but distant. You don't need it anymore. Let it slip behind the mist. Let even words become soft shapes. Let even shapes become light. Let even light become quiet. And now, imagine yourself floating across a vast, glassy lake, moonlight shimmering like breath across its surface. The boat you ride is not made of wood. It is made of memory, of sighs, of folded wishes. It carries you with no oars, with no hands, with no direction, only stillness. And as it moves, it doesn't disturb the water, not even a ripple, because you have become lighter than light, more subtle than silence. You have become sleep itself. No dreams are needed now. Only the cradle, only the hush, only the deep, delicious dark that welcomes your rest. Feel your chest rise and fall. Once more, feel the silence fold tighter around you, like warm arms pulling a blanket to your chin. No sound now, no voice, only breath, only stillness, only you, floating forever, wrapped in the breath of the night. Warm, safe, home.